I wanted to make another video using the Hake brush, but these are some of the brushes, the other brushes that I'll be using, as well as my 2B pencil. This is the 1-inch Hake brush, and you've got my butcher's tray, which I find is essential to use with the Hake brush. And now I'm just wetting my paper. This is £140 cold press Fabriano. And the thing I like about these Hake brushes, you can get plenty of paint on, plenty of water, and you can see how I'm taking the pigment off the tray. Just dabbing the pigment and just going into different colours. I want a bit of grey, a bit of red, and a bit of blue. And that can be the colour of the sky. I will be mixing these colours up, so you'll see I'll go in for different colours. I want quite a bit of colour in there, but I'm just laying down the first wash, and again it's into wet, so this is wet on wet. I didn't cover the whole of the top of the paper, so I want little bits of dry paper. And so it's not going to run, it's not going to mix everywhere on the paper. I will have parts where it's not going to do that. So I want a bit of light in the sky. I want something quite interesting going on. So you just got to work loosely. And I wanted to make this video just to show, I'm going to try and explain a bit more and show you a bit more of the painting process and how to use the Hake brush. I know some people do struggle. It can be quite difficult for some people, but for me, I think it's all about just, it's almost, you got to paint as if you don't care about the result. Just painting quick, putting down those brush marks. I've just sprayed my paint so you can see what's happening there as the paint sort of starts moving again. It starts coming down the paper. And then I'm adding a bit of yellow ochre into the bottom part of the sky. So just tapping it and touching it here and there with the Hake brush. Just giving a little help in the mixing. And then just going to go for making some clouds. And this is just a regular toilet paper. Tissue paper, whatever you can use. You can use anything to sort of blot the paper. So I'm lifting out. This is a technique called lifting out. And so that's what I'm doing, just to get a little bit of cloud. I don't want to do too much of this. So just a few clouds here and there. And just breaks up some of that sky, gives a little bit more interest. You can see there's something going on in the middle of the paper. Don't ask what that is, but you know, these things happen, and it could almost be rain or something like that. And then I'm just taking a mix similar to what I've got in the sky, and just making some shapes for mountains in the far distance. So for the reflections, I wanted some reflections in this. So there's at this time I'm just sort of making the scene up as I go along. So I'm just presuming at the bottom I've got some water. So I wanted those reflections to come down. So I'm just pulling down on the Hake brush, and now I'm using the card for scraping out some highlights. And this could be snow on the mountains. So you just got to practice. If you've not used the card before, you can see I'm just trying to get the right sort of marks. Sometimes it takes a couple of goes, like now I'm getting some nice shapes. I don't like it personally when you get these sort of lines, you're just scraping lines. So I'm using more of an edge instead of a corner. And then just after I've done that, I want to sort of blend the bottom of those highlighted areas that I've scraped out. And then just going in again with the tissue, and this can form a bit of almost sort of mist on the bottom of the mountains, and I just wanted to smooth things over. And now I'm just using my Hake brush just to go make some lines in the water, so these can be ripples or little sort of waves. So that's it. I'm just working quite simple. I'm just trying to keep things as easy as possible, just to make a simple but yet quite a nice little painting. So I just want to go in and after using the Hake brush, I'm switching now to my other brushes. So for the mountains, I just want to add some more detail, more darker detail. So I'm just picking up from what's been left from the Hake brush, and then adding some more details here and there. And this really does enhance the look of the painting, and it just gives more sort of definition and more, just looks a lot better. I'm not going to put too much detail in all the mountains, so I want a bit of distance between. So I'm starting off quite dark in the right mountain, and then just a little bit of detail on the left mountains. So I want a little bit of depth, a little bit of distance in these. So I don't want all of them to be sort of level and the same in tonal value. I'm just scuffling my brush, just scruffing it and drying it, and then picking up some more pigment, and you can see that's how I'm using to make these trees at the bottom of the mountains. So it does work to use your brush and just try and you can shape these brushes. They sort of, if you take the water out, they do sort of, you can shape them and then use them to sort of print with the brush and get some nice effects. And now I'm using the liner brush just to put in some trees and some of these pine sort of trees. I've got some branches and sort of sticks hanging up. And that's what I'm using for those. And this is a number 2 liner brush. So I do recommend getting one of these brushes if you haven't got one as well. I think I did mention that in the last video. And then just adding a bit of a shoreline at the bottom of the tree, just to give a little bit of definition and shape to that, so it gives the trees something to sit on. They're not just floating in the air. And then again, I'll be using the brush to just pull down, but I'm using the brush on the side. So I'm using the belly of the brush just to pull some of those shadows down. So I'm pulling the pigment down, and that'll give me a little bit of a shadow for the shoreline. I really wanted to be a bit more in depth and explain what I'm doing more in this video, but it's quite difficult to do as you're painting, because for me, with the Hake brush, because it's not a small brush, it's almost as if you're painting with one sort of stroke. So it's very quick, very loose. So there's not really much I can explain about that. I've shown you how you can sort of dry your brush and almost scruff it up, and so that gives you different shapes. But really, it's just all about being loose and just going for it. And like I said in the beginning, almost as if you're not really bothered about the painting or what's going to happen. it's just a different way of painting, but there's not really much to explain how to do it. You just got to be quick and try and make each brush stroke count, and that's what I try and do in these. I've not really used the paintbrush that many times. I'm just getting used to it myself, so I'm not really that experienced with it, but what I have experienced, it's quite a nice and easy sort of brush to use. You just got to remember that it's loose, and you just got to move quick with it, and that's all there is to it. So I'm just using the brush now to make some land. So I'm just pushing it, and it's almost as if like when you paint with oils, especially this dark corner here on the right hand side. So I'm just using plenty of drier or plenty of thicker paint, so it's more paint to less water, and just pushing down on the brush and letting the pigment come off, and I'm getting these nice little grass-like textures from the hairs on the brush itself. And then I'll be using the card again to scrape in some rocks. So it's quite a simple painting, really. You've not got many elements in this painting. I just wanted to do some trees, some mountains, a nice sky, and some rocks, and also a body of water. So it's really quite straightforward. If you do have any questions about this painting, or if you know any ideas, then please do drop me a comment. Let me know. Hopefully this is helpful in some way. And if you are new to my channel, or you just want to leave me a comment, then do leave me a comment in the comment section, and I would appreciate any likes. If you're still watching this video, please give us a thumbs up. So there's not really much more to add, so I'm just going to add some sort of twigs and just tweak a few areas here and there. But you can see how the rocks have come out. It's quite effective using the just a broken up card. It was a cash card, one of my old ones, so I just snapped it up and got about 2 or 3 different cards from it, so you can have different shapes, different as you tear the card up or whatever you use. You can use different edges, different sides, and it gives you different marks. So it's a really nice tool to use. I do like using the card, scraping rocks. It is quite effective. Let me know what you think if you've done this, if you use this technique. If you're new to this technique, then let me know. Hopefully you can see how I do it, and hopefully you can have a go and have success with this technique as well. It was only after painting this actual painting that I looked at it and thought it would be quite nice to have a waterfall in this scene, and maybe coming down the centre-ish of the painting. Maybe that's something I should have a go at. It would look quite nice. So maybe that's something I can do. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I just thought it would have been nice where the area is that I'm painting now, if that was sort of a river or something. A bit of a woodland scene, but a river running through the middle. I think that would be quite nice. It almost reminds me of a Bob Ross style painting. That sort of feel. I am a fan of Bob Ross. I have watched quite a lot of his painting, Joy of Painting series. So it's quite nice to make a painting similar. I guess it's quite nice with the trees and mountains and all those things going on. You may have noticed as I scrape the rocks out, it's always nice to put some darker tones opposite or next to the highlighted scraped out areas, and then it's just time to add a few birds in the sky, and that's this painting complete. Just removing the tape, and again just pulling this tape away from the painting, sort of at an angle. It saves ripping the paper. Sometimes it's hard to get off the board. There you go, and that's it. That's give me a nice sharp edge. Give me a nice frame, and that's pretty much it. Let's take a closer look. You can see just how easy, how quick, how simple. I don't know whether to say easy, but try to simplify it as much as possible, and try to explain things as I've done it. But that's pretty much it. It's a nice Hake painting of a landscape with mountains, trees, rocks and some water, and with an interesting sky. So that's it. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.